Thank you, our listeners, and welcome back to our videos. If you have not subscribed, kindly you can subscribe and follow us. And we continue with our series on money and wealth. Today we look at a very interesting topic on this video, and we look at the political economy and how it affects your money and wealth. When we talk about the political economy, we are trying to connect your actions, especially during elections, and how they affect your money and wealth. I think now anybody in Kenya and anybody who is working, they really know what it means between voting and your money and wealth. Because in the last 2 years, we have seen so many taxes that have been imposed on people who are working. We have seen the housing levy, we have seen the SHA, we have seen the pay income beyond the traditional 30%. For those who are earning more than 500,000 shillings, we have now 32.5, we have that 5%. So this speaks about the really role of the government in the equation of your money and wealth. We do make money within an economy. And for example, if you are Kenyan and you work and live in Kenya, you can only make money from the Kenyan economy. That means that whatever happens within the tax environment or the actions of government in terms of taxes and the actions of government in terms of the economy, they will have somehow an effect on your ability to make money and wealth. So you cannot make money outside the economy or the environment in which you live in. And that's why this topic and this video is very important for you to be able to see the little things that we do during elections, how they are related with our finances. So one of the key things about the political economy is that we are talking about money. And money, ideally, what we call money is simply because we call money because government has guaranteed it, or has guaranteed the value. So, for example, you look at the Kenyan shilling, 1,000 shilling, is a piece of paper except by the guarantee of the government of Kenya. So the value of 1,000 that you see in the 1,000 note is provided or is attached to it because of the government guarantee of that currency. So number one, the reason why the political economy is very important is that the money that you're looking for and the wealth that you're looking for, it is derived from the guarantee that the government puts on the money through the economy. So you cannot have a currency if there's no country that is backing it. And that's why you've seen a lot of controversy on the cryptocurrencies because of lack of one government that guarantees that currency. So it's very important to know that the money that you have it has value because the government guarantees it. The second thing is that when we look at the economy and the environment where you make money, the government macroeconomic policy or the decisions of the government are based on how they spend their money, where they spend their money. It affects how money flows within the economy. And that's why I said the actions of government really affect how you can be able to grow wealth. And I think this is a very practical discussion for us now in Kenya. We have seen the programs of government. When the current government came into office, they tried to cut down and cut back on quite a number of government spending programs. And those government spending programs have actually been able to affect businesses and the amount of business within the country. They have also been able to affect the amount of money in circulation within the economy. I think now it's very common to hear people saying that there is no money in circulation because the actions of the government and the spending programs of government impact how money is injected into the economy and how money circulates within the economy. And that's when during difficult economic times, we see government coming up with things we call stimulus economic packages. And the purpose of stimulus economic packages is to release money into circulation within the economy. The same case when there's a lot of money in circulation, the government comes up with programs like the issue treasury bills and others to be able to remove the excess money in circulation. So through these actions, the government is able to affect how money flows within the economy. It's able to affect business operations. And actually it's able to affect whether people are able to get jobs through businesses, whether businesses are able to create jobs or not. So the macroeconomic environment is very critical in your discussion about money and wealth. The third thing that I want to speak about is really our actions during elections. For many Kenyans, we underestimate the power of a vote. And we have heard about the story of, in the Bible, the story of Esau, where he sold his inheritance to Jacob in a moment of hunger. And that's why eventually Jacob became the father of the house of Israel, instead of, which was a birthright of Esau. So when you're talking about our elections and our votes, many times we take it for granted, but we have seen how the government that we elect can come up with tax policies that are so direct, and they impact our finances. We've seen our payslips being raided after one levy after another one. If you check how much you're paying on fuel, we are told that almost more than 50% of the money that you're paying in 1 liter of petrol or diesel or kerosene, it goes to taxes. So there's a direct connection between your actions during the election period and what happens after that for the next 5 years. And I think this is now quite real and quite practical for many of us. Many of times we have been talking about this, and for many people are employed. They never used to take it seriously. But I think now we really understand what it means to vote the right people. So the political economy is dependent on the political leaders that we elect, because once they're in office, they come up with the policies, they come up with the decisions that affect our day-to-day life, the decisions that affect the businesses and the companies that we work in. And based on the decisions of those companies, in response to the decisions of the government, they can even cut back jobs. We've seen people lose jobs, we've seen businesses close, we've seen people divest from the country because of the leadership that we put into government. So next time when you're going to an election, you really need to think carefully about your vote. Unfortunately, many of us sell our votes for 50 shillings, 100 shillings, at most 200 shillings. It's also quite unfortunate that many of us expect political leaders, when they are campaigning, to keep on giving handouts here and there. We need to remember, when these handouts are being distributed, they will be repaid. There will be a payback period, and the payback period is after they get into office. So I think it's quite important for us to be able to appreciate that the actions of the political economy affect our finances. Thank you, and see you in the next video.